We are joined now by Republican Congressman Jody Hice of Georgia, who participated in today's Oversight Committee hearing as well. Congressman Hice, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
So first, let me just play a portion of what you said in your opening remarks for our viewers.
The issue is not gun violence. Guns are not the issue. We have a people violence problems who misuse guns and other means whenever they intend to harm individuals.
And then you went on to say that there is a moral and spiritual crisis in this country right now and that we need to respect each other and we need to embrace religious beliefs. Let's take your point on that. But I do want to ask you, in recent years, we've seen 26 people gunned down in a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, 11 killed in a synagogue in Pittsburgh, and 9 worshipers killed at the AME Church in Charleston. So do you pause and think at all that it may, in fact, be a gun violence problem that threatens Americans who want to peacefully worship or shop at the grocery store or go to school without the fear of a mass shooting?
Oh, look, there's no question that we have a problem with violence in America, but to blame guns, look, I have had over the years many guns. None of them have ever committed an act of violence because I don't commit acts of violence. The guns are not the issue. The reality that we have violent people is the issue, and the more we continue going down a path with policies to defund the police or to release criminals onto our streets, to be soft on crime, for there to be no consequences for criminal activity and acts of violence, disrespect for the law. These type of things contribute to the problem, not the guns themselves. And so I think we're focusing in an unrealistic area as it relates to actually addressing the problem. The problem is a spiritual problem. It's a heart problem of people, and we need to address those issues.
And so you yourself just said violent people, that's the issue. So is it incumbent upon lawmakers then to try to keep or prevent or limit violent people from getting their hands on dangerous weapons by perhaps having red flag laws or doing background checks or raising the age limit?
Look, we already have those laws. We already have things, but so many of our laws are ignored. We don't enforce the laws. Why is it that so many violent people are released to go right back on our streets? Criminals, our goodness, look at our southern border right now. We're allowing who knows who to enter our country. These are issues that we already have laws for, but they're laws that are not being enforced. So for us here in Congress, just to create more laws, it really is not addressing the problems. Look, there are moral absolutes. And I think we as a country need to get back to some of these fundamental principles of reality. Among those is respect for one another, respect for life, respect for the rule of law. These things need to be taught. They need to be a part of our American culture once again, but unfortunately they're not. And we are in many ways watching the consequences of that.
So I just want to pose a question. You were there in the hearing room today when Lexi's mom, Kimberly Rubio, asked lawmakers, why are guns more important to them than children? I just want to hear your response to her direct question to the lawmakers today.
Well, they're not. Listen, children are important. People are important. Life is important. That question is totally missing the point. What is creating the crimes? What is causing people to commit these mass shootings? It's not the gun that's making people make these decisions. There's something else in our culture that is wrong. We are living at a time where we are pitting one group against another. We are accusing people in one group of one thing and another. We are creating an environment of hostility. We are not teaching respect for law and love for our fellow citizens. These type of things must become, once again, a part of the American culture. A gun by itself is not what is causing someone to just say, hey, let me go out and shoot a bunch of people. There's something inside our culture that itself is promoting violence, and we certainly need to address some of these things. That will address the problem more so than just saying, look, you can't get a gun unless there's more background checks or a certain age or whatever the new proposed law may be. The gun itself is not the problem.
You know, I do want to talk about potential reforms being debated in Congress. It sounds like you're not really for the reforms, and you've suggested that you don't feel like there should be more laws. You know, a number of people, Republicans in particular, talk about the Second Amendment. And I checked it today, and it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But nowhere does it say the right of teenagers, the right of 18-year-olds. That was something that was subsequent, right? I mean, we can look at all the data to suggest, and the science to suggest that, you know, an 18-year-old's brain is not fully completed at that point. And so why is that? Especially when you have the parents of Uvalde and way beyond, and a number of different mass shootings, who are urging, who are begging, who are pleading to just increase the age from 18 to 21. Why not? That is not specific to the Second Amendment. Why not just consider that?
Well, it is specific to other constitutional rights, isn't it? I mean, an 18-year-old is able to vote. An 18-year-old is in our military. An 18-year-old obviously is driving. They virtually, as far as I'm aware of, all constitutional rights apply to individuals that are 18 years of age and over. And so this one would be a unique circumstance that I don't believe is justified. The majority of mass shootings in this country have been done by people over 21 years of age. And so it's at that point, what do we do with those people? Look, at the end of the day, this is I believe, a slippery slope that will eventually begin to infringe upon, as you just read, the rights of law-abiding American citizens to keep and bear arms. And that's something that must be protected and defended, and we must address the issue, not the tool, if you will, that provides people the right to defend themselves. I just don't believe that raising the age is really, at the end of the day, a solution to the violence problem that we have in this country.
Okay, last question to you, Congressman. Why do you feel that we are such an anomaly? As was discussed today at the hearing, 288 school shootings in the U.S. compared to 5 for all of the other G7 countries combined.
Look, that's a question that many can debate and discuss. But look, here in America, we are a country that's based upon limited government, maximum freedom for individuals. And that in itself is very unique from the vast majority of countries around the world. And there are risks that come with freedom. But within that context, absolutely, we need to do everything we can to address problems. And violence is certainly a problem that needs to be addressed in this country. But it is my firm conviction that at the end of the day, this is showing a heart problem, a spiritual problem, a moral problem. And these problems, by and large, as a country, we are not addressing. We don't teach respect in our schools anymore like we used to when I was a child, for instance. We don't teach the necessity of respecting our fellow citizens. And all of these things, when all is said and done, has negative consequences. And I believe it's time for us to embrace the reality that there is a God that we will all give an account to one day, that we are all meaningful and purposeful in our lives, and we need to respect one another. These type of things, I believe, will, in the course of time, have a great effect on the violence that we're watching across this country.
All right, Congressman Hice, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate the academic debate and discussion tonight. Appreciate you sharing your views.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.